Could you let go of holding on? That was the attachment. Just check and see if there's anything you're pushing down or pushing away, or trying to push down. Maybe something you really wish for not happening. Maybe a feeling that's unwanted. Maybe a person. Feel into the pushing down, pushing away. And could you gently let go of pushing and just allow yourself to feel that which you were pushing against or pushing down. And you might feel a tiny little bit lighter, freer, happier. And if you do, let you tune into that feeling. Could you now open being just as you are in this moment? Could you open to this moment and allow yourself to arrive here and now? And releasing consists of, not of it is about checking into what you're wanting. One of the things we teach here is that wanting is the opposite of having. So when you're wanting something, in a way you're sending a signal to the universe that you're not having it, that you're lacking it. In a way, we are broadcasting all the time this signals. So when you're wanting something, you're lacking something. Just check and see if there's anything you're wanting to change or control in this moment. A sense of lacking control and wanting. And could you very gently let go of that sense of lacking control? Could you just loosen your grip? You might find that that opens you up more to having. Just check again if there's more, that sense of lacking control. To be lacking, or sense of lacking control over an event. Could be wanting to change person. Could be wanting to change yourself. And could you let go that sense of lacking control and wanting to have. And check and see if there's maybe a little bigger sense of having lightness, freedom, happiness. It's not about the words, it's about the feeling. If there's any sense of that, could you tune into that feeling, lightness, happiness, and freedom? Just allow it to come inside. Now, you can see if there's any wanting, a sense of lacking approval, wanting to be loved, wanting to be validated, wanting respect. Anything like that. Could be wanting your own approval, co-worker, a child, a parent, partner. Could be anyone. And could you let go of that sense of lacking approval? Would you do it if you could? And when? And check again if there's more of that sense of lacking love, lacking approval, and wanting to have it. And could you let go of the sense of lacking approval? Could you let go of wanting approval? And check again if there's more of that lacking love, lacking approval. And could you allow yourself to let go of that? And try to do this with your being, from your feeling center. And could you now give yourself some love and approval, just as you are in this moment? Could you give yourself and your life and the moment love and approval? And could you even open to being love in this moment? And let's go deeper. Releasing consists mainly of three wants. So whenever we are wanting something, we can categorize it into these, what you do, what are these three wants? So that's wanting approval, wanting control, and wanting safety. So just check and see if there's any sense of being unsafe right now. Could be about finances. Could be about health. Could be about politics. Could be about something else. So could you let go of that sense of lacking safety? Could you let that go even more? And check if there's more of lacking safety and wanting to have. Allow yourself to feel into that. Can you see that it's just a thought? And could you let go of the sense of lacking safety? Check and see now if you feel a little bit lighter, freer, happier. Could be even a tiny little feeling. If you can get in touch with that, could you tune into that feeling or that sense of freedom, happiness, lightness, however it's appearing to you, however it's feeling. And could you let that expand? Could you allow that to grow inside? And just allow yourself to listen to the silence. The silence behind and in between the sounds. And now you can open your eyes if they're closed. Just try to let this feeling be with you, if you could connect to it. And today's theme is letting go of limitations. So I have a chat, or I have a quote in the chat. The only limitations you have are the ones you accept. So just feel into that. And the person who said that was called Lester Levinson. And in the 50s, Lester was very rich. He had taken lots of education. He was very successful. He had lots of women that wanted to marry him. But he was not happy. And he had lots of health conditions. And one day, he had a major heart attack. And he had to go to the hospital. And basically, what the doctor told him was that he was going to die within 2 weeks to 2 months from then. And the more he moved, the quicker he would die. So he was sent home and told to wear slippers, because even tying his shoelaces could kill him. And that led to Lester re-examining his life. And he had a sense that all he had learned at the university was book knowledge. We tried to examine everything from the beginning. And the first thing he checked was that he felt a sense of anger towards the doctor, because he felt the doctor had been cold to him, just sending him home to die. And he asked himself, could I let go of the sense of anger towards the doctor? And he noticed as he answered that he felt a little bit better about that. And this led to Lester revising his entire past, all the memories, letting go of all the wants that were stored, and basically transforming his entire history into love. And as he did this, he felt better and better. His health problems disappeared. He actually lived for 40 more years. And he felt more and more in tune with everything. And things were going better and better with him. And eventually he went spiritually free. So releasing is an attempt to emulate what he did in this process. And with regards to letting go of limitations, I can share a story from my own life. From many, many years ago, me and my girlfriend at the time were homeless. And I had gotten a guarantee from the welfare office that they would help me if I found a flat. But only a oral guarantee, no papers. I didn't have any money. I didn't have even a telephone. But I went to look at a flat. And at that time, I had been working with this technique, with goal manifesting. And I don't remember the exact goal, but I had the goal of something like, I allow myself to have an apartment. And I went to this showing of an apartment. And it turned out, I told the landlord about my situation. And it turned out that the landlord trusted me. So later that day, I had the keys to an apartment without the landlord even having a way to reach hold of me, without him having given me, or without me having given him any money, without any papers. So for me, that was a major, quite a big at the time, demonstration of overcoming limitations. So when you release, you change the energy you emit to the universe. You can open to many, many possibilities. So if anybody has any stories from their own life of overcoming limitations, or want to share any gains, or want to have help with overcoming limitations or have help in their life with anything, you can press the raise hand button. And if not, I'm just going to do a release about overcoming limitations. So we have Catherine. So,
hey, Kristen, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right. Yeah, if you can help with the limitation of guilt, because there's some situations where, because there's guilt involved, I notice I hold on to it and I get tripped up. Is it wanting approval, wanting control, wanting to be safe? It doesn't really seem to fit any of those.
Okay. So I would just like first to say, because there is one person I think is new to releasing, and there might be people listening to recording. So just like to say to them that the way we do this here is that when people release, you release along with them on something similar or something in your life. So can you just feel into that?
Okay.
And welcome it. Just allow yourself to feel it.
All right.
Check and see if you're resisting it, that you wish it wasn't there.
Yes.
So could you very gently let go of that sense of resistance?
Okay.
And check and see if you're disapproving of yourself.
Definitely.
Okay. So could you just first allow yourself to disapprove of yourself? Just,
Okay.
and could you feel into it? Try to step out of your mind and feel into the feeling center.
All right.
And could you let go of that disapproval of yourself?
Yes.
You know that disapproval is not. You can check and see if that disapproval is serving anyone.
Yeah, it's as I'm letting go of the disapproval, I'm noticing that there's some wanting control. I'm trying to control the situation.
Okay. So could you let go of that sense of lacking control over the situation?
Yes.
And is there more of that?
Seems like there is. So yeah, I'm glad you brought up resistance to begin with, because as I'm letting go of each one, the resistance keeps coming up.
Okay. So could you let go of more of that resistance?
Yes.
And what's there now for you?
Before, when I talked about the emotion being guilt, if that is an emotion, and now it feels like it's pride. I feel like I am holding some kind of moral sword, like I must be guilty because I know more about the situation than anyone else does. So that's good clarification.
Okay. So could you allow that pride to be there?
Yes.
And could you just let go of the pride?
Yes.
And now in releasing, we teach there's an emotional scale, as you know. So pride is right under courageousness. So check and see if you can access courageousness right now.
Okay. I can feel there's a little disapproving of myself that's in the way of courageousness.
So
But I will let that go.
Good. So could you even give yourself love and approval, just as you are right now?
Yes.
And could you let go of the identification with the guilt?
Yes.
And could you now open to being courageous about this? And everybody remember to release alone. Could you open to being courageous?
Yes.
And could you be more courageous about this?
Yes.
And could you even open to your life loving you? Could you allow life to love you?
Yes.
Very good. So, how are you feeling now? What's coming up?
I'm feeling courageousness. So
Great. So
thank you.
from this place, could you send some love to the whole situation, whole thing,
Yes.
and some more,
Yes.
and even more?
Yes.
And could you allow your life to take care of you?
I have to admit there's a little wanting control when you asked me that question.
Sure, sure. So could you let go of that sense of lacking control?
Yes.
Can you see that the idea that you lack control is only a thought?
Yes.
Could you let go of that thought?
Yes.
So how are you feeling now?
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you for.
Good. Thanks for raising your hand, Catherine.
All right. Thank you for the releasing. Great releasing.
Good releasing. So, if anybody has anything else or anything they want to have assistance with or share again, or maybe share a story of how they overcome limitation in their life, or have any insights about that, feel free to raise your hand by pressing the raised hand button. It's in the menu. And if not, we're going to do a release about letting go of limitations. So, second C, if you have anything you feel limitations about in your life. And just feel into that sense of limitation. And check and see if there's any sense that that limitation, that difficulty wasn't there. That's resistance. And resistance keeps things in place. So could you let go of resisting that limitation? And just check and see, after having let go, if you feel any lighter, freer, happier. And if you do, could you tune into that higher place as best you can? And if there's more resistance to the limitation, could you let go of that resistance? And check and see if there's anything you're wanting to change or control with regard to that limitation. And just feel into that lacking change, lacking control, the sense of that. And could you just allow that to leave? Just a gentle opening. You can feel into it and allow it to flow through you. And could you let go of that sense of lacking control even more? And check and see if there's any wanting safety around this limitation. And could you let that go? And check and see if there's any disapproval of yourself for this limitation. And could you let go of the sense of disapproving very gently as you open up to being loved? And check for any stories or identifications you have about yourself with regard to this. Could be like, I never do things right. I never complete things. I'm really bad at this. All kinds of stories about yourself. And could you let go of identifying yourself with that? Could you open up to being an unlimited being at your core? And just do that as best you can. And feel into that sense of limitation itself. How does that, or how does believing in that limitation make you feel? And who would you be without believing in that limitation? And could you let go of that sense of limitation? Could you let go of that limitation even more? And even more. Just do this as best you can. Sometimes or often we have to work away on releasing, just chip away more and more of our limitations, our wants, our stories. So could you again open up and allow life to love you. Could you allow beingness, or God, or the universe, whatever you want to call it, could you allow that higher force to take care of you? And support you? Could you even open up to miracles being possible? And if there's any resistance to that, any buts, could you very gently allow that to be released? And it's just a gentle opening. At first, you might not feel so much, but gradually you can release more and more from the feeling center. So could you open up to all the possibilities? And check and see if you have any stories about your life or about life in general and about the world, how life functions, how the world functions, how you function. And could you open up to seeing that they're just thoughts that you're energizing? Could you even open up to the possibility that your mind is making this up? Could you let go of the stories? And again, open to allowing your life to love you. Open to being guided. So just feel into that. It might again feel lighter, freer, happier. It's not about the words. It's about that sense. And if you can get in touch with any of that, could you just tune in more to that? And just allow it to grow inside of you. So again, if there's anybody who wants some assistance, want to share anything, raise your hand. You can write in the chat if there's anything. And if not, we're going to go to a closing cleanup. So just allow yourself. Allow everything. Take a few Deep, slow breaths. Feel the air in the weight of your body, whatever surface you're on. Allow yourself to feel what you feel right now. Just allow yourself to sense this moment and really arrive in that moment. Check and see you're being burdened by limitations. And could you let go of pushing against that sense of limitation? And just loosen up very gently. As you tune in deeper to this moment. Check and see if there's anything you're holding on to. Maybe just hold and let go. It's really very easy. We are accustomed to living life holding things. So even that can feel natural. Natural, effortless state. Letting go. Check and see if there's any aversion in that moment. Like pushing down, pushing away. Check and see if you can, instead of pushing, feel into that which you're trying to push away. And as you do, you might notice things getting softer. I notice a sense of relief. Right. You just wrench yourself as we go on. Check and see if there's anything you're wanting to change or control in this. The sense of lacking control, wanting it to be. And wanting is lacking. Wanting is the opposite of lacking. So could you let go of wanting control so you can open to having control? You can see if there's more of it. Could you let that go? Would you let it go if you could? And when would you let it go? Let's be honest with yourself. And as you let go of wanting control, you might feel like you're more in control. And check and see if there's any sense of lacking love, lacking approval, lacking validation, lacking respect about anything or from anyone. Could be a sense of lacking approval for yourself. And could you let go of lacking approval? The thing is, every time you let go of any of these wants about anything, letting go of that want in general. So could you let go of lacking? Could you open to being good enough as you are? Could you even give yourself approval and love just as you are? And tune into being. And could you just allow that love to heal and heal your life as best you can? Just do things as best you can here. Just try to tune in. Check and see if there's any sense of wanting safety, lacking safety, lacking security, lacking survival. Could you let go of wanting security? Just an opening. You can open up in the feeling center. Just allow that to pass. Check and see if there's more of that sense of lacking. And could you let that go? Or you can check again now. If you feel lighter, happier. And as I said before, it's not about the words, it's about the sense. Could you tune into that? And could you even let that go? And see if you can feel even better. And allow that sense to fill you and fill your life as you listen to the sun. and the music. And as you tune into those higher states, you're naturally letting go. Letting go happens by itself. You might feel a pull towards that, those higher states. And if you do, just allow it. Could you just allow happiness, lightness, freedom to feel? So you can now open your eyes if they're closed. Try to be with this feeling or this sense for the rest of your day as best you can. And I would like to thank everybody who came. It's a new company and not so many people have heard of us. And I would appreciate if you tell people of our existence. If you know people who might be interested. To be on the mailing list, you can write to this email, info@freeflowreleasing.com. And they can look for the Facebook group, Free Flow Releasing. And I would like to thank especially the person Anne from Norway, who hasn't probably not heard of releasing before. And I hope you got something out of it. As well as Michael and Catherine, I hope you got something out of it too. So thanks for coming. We'll have a new call next week. I think it will be Thursday next week, but that will be announced on mail and on the Facebook group. Thank you.